So this is Doe Castle. It was built around 1400 by the Maxwell clan, and it was used as a stronghold for over 200 years because it is on the banks of the river, or not the river, the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. And it is owned by the Office of Public Works now. The grounds are open to the public, but unfortunately you cannot get into the castle. But I will give you a little look around. It is also a fact that the pirate Grace O'Malley stayed here during her travels. She's a legendary pirate in Irish waters, so that's another little bit of historical fact for you. Okay, here we go. So as you come through the walkway, you can see here there is a face on the wall here. I don't know if you can make that out. But we're going to walk through here and we're going to have a look. This is a tower here. One of the turrets. And there's a little inscription here I read. So there's a plaque here on this turret and it says erected to the memory of Owen, second papal Marquis McSwaney of Mashanglass, who died 12/2/1986, and his son Patrick, who preceded him, aged 28 years. So apparently this is a stairway down into the basement of the castle, and if you have a wee look down here, you can see the staircase there that leads down into the basement, and that leads all the way under the castle. Okay, let's go this way. So as you come down here past the turret, this would have been one of the open rooms. Obviously it would have had a roof. You can see up there that there are slats where the wooden beams would have went for the roof. This probably was for toilets to get rid of the water. You can see up there, it is a massive building, and this is the turret from the other side. Okay, let's go into the next room. Wait, there's a little hole down here, hang on. I wonder what that was used for. So this is into the next room. And that is the main building of the castle, which we unfortunately can't get into. Of another turret. These would be lookout holes. So you can see here it says about the hanging tower and battlements, which is here. And this 3/4 corner terrace protects the north corner of the Bawn Wall. It is 3 stories high with gun loops at each level looking out over Sheephaven Bay. The roof is made of stone corbelling and is crenellated. This is traditionally known as the Hanging Tower. This tower and the inner one on the north corner of the keep may be 16th century additions. On the seaside of the castle is a triangular walled garden, which is probably a late addition. And this is what it would have looked like back in the day. And you can see the holes where they put the coals out. These are the steps that they would have used to climb up onto the terrace. And this is what it would have looked like back in the day. Well, we're just having a look into the gardens. And this is Sheephaven Bay, which leads out to the Atlantic Ocean. I live maybe 10 minutes from here, so it's really cool. But that is Doe Castle. It is one of 30,000 castles that are in Ireland. We are renowned for having castles in this country. So I'm just going to walk down here and read a little bit more about what happened. What it used to look like, so you can see pictures of what it was before. So General George Hart, his initials are above the doorway here, acquired the castle in the late 18th century. He rebuilt much of the castle and added new buildings, transforming Doe Castle into a country mansion. The work was finished by his son John. General Hart brought some cannon back from the siege of Seringapatam in India and displayed them along the restored battlements. He also brought back an Indian servant, said to have been a manservant to Tipu Sultan, the Tiger of Mysore. This servant, dressed in traditional clothes, slept across the doorway to his master's bedroom to protect him. Oh. You can see that's there. You can see I'll show you now the lettering over the door. You can see over the door here it has GBH, General Von Hart. Yeah, and this is where he took over and made this into his home. So we're just going to go back down along here and have a look at this other bit. The tide is coming in. And this was the Great Hall. So we can read it right here, the Great Hall. The early years of the 17th century had been a turbulent time in which the castle was taken and retaken, with much destruction and firing of cannon. Captain Sanford acquired the castle and walls, and it was restored in 1623. So this was the Great Hall. So they must have had some parties in here. We're going to go back through the Great Wall, and then that is us, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I know I do mostly grave, but it was right beside the graveyard, so I could not come in here and do it because it's right here. But yeah, this is Doe Castle, and I'm back in college tomorrow, so I am going to be in between doing grave recordings, but I'll try and get up as many as possible by the end of the year. I know I have about 3 or 4 lined up, so watch this space. Thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.